All right, welcome back, Oulton Park Foster's been a long time since I have been on this configuration. If you've been watching the channel, I put out a few posts Saturday to get participation up, try and get people out there. Um, Saturday was the winner, Saturday 7:45 GMT. I will put this in the description. Hopefully we can get two or three splits, improve the participation and strength of field. There were some popular runner-up times, so I will post those in the description as well. So I will definitely be trying to make the Saturday 7:45, and I will post some of those other popular times, which hopefully I will be able to make most of those. So keep a lookout for that. So setup. If you are new to the Ray, or if you haven't been paying attention, the Ray has had a big change. The ride height and such has really changed. So push rods are way different, totally opposite of what they used to be, and your setups will be wrecked. So anyway, the new push rod is 30 mils in the front. This is, you can have it lower, but there are a few curbs here you want to be going over, and so the ride height is a little bit higher than the lowest setting it can be. So 30 mils in the front. ARB is 0. Damper compression is 20. That's pretty much the standard damper compression. Rebound is 0. Brake bias 57% for me. For you, it's a different number. If you tend to run, if you know my channel, I run a high brake bias. I am about a percent lower than I'm normally, around 58. So whatever your brake bias normally is, you may want to just knock it down one notch, perhaps 1%. Give that a try if you are finding the back end getting too light, which is very easy on this track. Just try increasing that brake bias. Spring rates, low as they go, front and rear. Need lots of grip here. You need lots of grip here, especially on cold tires. My goodness, cold tires here, it is very slick. Camber 1.4. If you know my channel, it is usually asymmetrical, and it is very asymmetrical today. For those of you who are new this season or new to the Ray or my channel, I do have asymmetrical setups. That is to keep the tire temps even through the tire. So the left side, the center, the right side, and also the tire wear. I try and keep from having one part of the tire get completely eaten up, and one side of the tire being at 100% still. So that is why it's an asymmetrical setup. Go with the higher value if you want to keep them symmetrical. Toe in 1.5. If you know my channel, I usually have this cranked up pretty high, and it is no more yellow. The iRacing Garage does not hate 1.5 anymore. You do need a very pointy front end here. You do need a lot of turn in to get into some of these corners. So the toe in is turned up there a fair bit. Spring rates, low as they go in the rear. Camber, again, very asymmetrical. 1.3 on the left, 1 on the right. Do the 1.3 if you want to keep them symmetrical. 0.3 toe in, you don't need it turned up here too much. This just keeps the tire temps up and also helps with braking a little bit. And in the rear, ride height 38 mils. So with the changes to the Ray, the difference between the front and rear is a lot more significant than what it used to be. Again, the ride height in the rear here is higher. It is not as low as it can go. It's not. There's a little bit of room there for sure, but it is cranked up a bit because, again, you have to get over some nasty curbs here. ARB is 20. Yes, 20. You need 20 here. Cold tires, 20 is not going to be all that much fun, but once the tires get warm, you do need the rotation in the car to get around these corners. Yeah, 20 is where you want to be. If you are struggling, if you're new to the track or the car, try 15. It will be a little bit more forgiving, and once you get a handle on it, definitely try cranking that up to 20. It will get you around faster. Rear compression and dampers, 6 and 18, that's pretty standard. Fuel level 14 liters. I don't think 13 is going to get you to the end of the race. Yeah, so watch out for that. 14 I think will be needed. Gear stack, you probably thought I was going short on this track. I am going standard. The short stack feels very nice, however in the back straight, well, sort of straight, it comes up a little bit short. So I did find my fastest laps were with the standard stack. If you are one of the faithful using a stick, you may want to try the short stack though. It is not much of a loss at all. It's just in a draft, it is going to be a little bit compromised on that back straight. So it will get you around the track a lot easier as far as shifting goes. You're mostly, I don't think you'll be getting down into first gear. You'll just be shifting between second and third and fourth. So it will be a little more friendly if you are using a stick. So you may want to try that if you find the standard is just a little bit too awkward for shifting and getting things done. Track temp 24 degrees, so that'll be pretty representative, give or take a degree or two. Testing 30%, that's pretty much my standard now. Just to keep things nice and even keel between all the guides. So we'll get into this coming into turn 1 in 4th gear. We'll do this in slow-mo and then run it out at full speed. I will have the setup file in the Ray forum on iRacing if you want to download it. So coming into turn 1, looking for this red and black sign here, braking around the Jordan bikes here. Just past the front of it. Down into 3rd gear, pretty hard on the brakes. You have to slow the car down, be as far to the left as you can. You don't really want to get into the grass. That is going to make the back end pretty tricky here. Hard on the brakes, you want to have the car slowed down well before the apex so you can pick up the throttle well before the apex. Came in a little hot, little counter steer, and getting onto these curbs. You can get even onto the sandy patch here. That's better than running wide. Don't go up top here. That is trouble. But you do not want to run wide here. Get on the curbs, picking up the throttle before the apex. Unwinding the wheel. Again, cold tires. This is going to be a little trickier for sure. Keep your right-hand tire over the white line. You can get your left-hand tire on the grasscrete. No big deal. You can get an X though if you cross that white line, and if you get over the curb, you will get a slowdown. It is a painful slowdown. I know the color is a little washed out here. The sun was a weird sun today. So 4th gear, getting over to the right hand side, and that's very important to be on the right hand side, looking for the dip in the road and going to just lift before that dip in the road and turning in very early here. A little bit of throttle just to keep that back end happy, and getting onto the curbs here. Very important to get onto the curbs. You have to cut this corner as much as possible. It's faster. Keep your right hand tire over the white line. You do not want to be running wide here, and then just again managing the throttle here just so you're keeping that back end planted. If you are way over to the right here, it is very hard to get your car over to the left in time to make the braking and to get the car turned in for this next corner. So very important to keep it to the left. Looking for the cone or the triangle here of the white lines. Getting on the brakes, very hard on the brakes, down into 2nd gear. Do not get on the grass here. This is very deadly. Even getting onto the curb here I find is disruptive, so keep it on track. Very hard on the brakes, 2nd gear. And this, I believe, if my memory serves correctly, in the past, this curb was deadly. But with the ride height now and the new race stuff and perhaps a new track scan, you can get on this curb and get over it. So just getting off the throttle, you do not want to be on the throttle on this curb. That is not a good idea. And picking up the throttle as you get over the curb. Running the car out, and this is a very tricky corner. Getting onto the red and white curb is okay, the red and white checkered curb here. But if you get onto the red and white discs here, this is big trouble. You are very good chance you're going to die. If you get onto this stuff, lift, get off the throttle, you may be able to save it, but if you are on throttle and you touch this stuff, you are going to be spinning out, and if there's some car in front of you that gets onto this stuff, watch out. They'll probably be coming across the track, and good chance they'll collect you, so look out for that. And then just getting the car over to the left hand side of the track. Do not cross the white line. I'm rubbing the edge of the grass with my tire, and that is about as much as you can do without getting an X. In a race, not such a big deal, but on your quality lap, that's going to be trouble. So keeping the left hand tire on the track, getting onto this curb just a little bit. This is a trickier corner in different configurations, but this time very easy. Full throttle. Just turn in at the curbs there, and then just work your way from third and getting up into fourth. Just cutting this corner here as much as you can. Keep it on track. It's more stable that way. Getting onto the curbs here on exit again. Don't cross over the curb. You get an X for hitting the grass there. Very big passing opportunity coming into this corner. Watch out for that. This is where the short stack comes up a little bit short. If you're drafting or if someone's drafting off you, it will be a little bit compromised, but not too badly. Looking for the green and white or green and yellow sign here, marker. Getting on the brakes, third gear. Good blast of brakes to get the car slowed down so you can get on the throttle nice and early. This, if you are not on the throttle early here, you're going to lose a lot of time. Getting right up against these curbs, and in fact, it's better to touch the curbs. They are a little disruptive, but you do not want to run wide. Picking up the throttle nice and early, full throttle. Again, this is hot tires, low fuel. When it is cold tires, heavy fuel, there'll probably be a little bit of lifting here. And then just letting the car drift out to the left-hand side. Again, don't cross that white line. Use the curbs here, but if you go over the curbs, that is an X. Now this one again, very tricky corner. Looking for the turn-in marker here and the Marshall station, braking in between the two of them. There is also a dip in the pavement that could be hard to see if there's a car in front of you. So braking between the two of them, down into second, very hard on the brakes. I don't know if this is because the ray has changed up a bit, but I found there's a lot more understeer to this corner, so watch out for that. If you are wide at all, your car is just going to drift into the grass, or you're going to have to lift or brake. It is very much more understeer than I remember it being. Very late apex, turning in here, second gear, picking up the throttle as early as you can, getting onto these curbs just to cut this corner as much as possible. Watch on exit. If you get your tires onto the dirt here, you do pick up an X. And then just picking up the throttle nice and early again, can lose a lot of time through this corner. Unwinding the wheel, use all the curb on exit, just don't get onto that grass, and hold a tight line here. You do not want to come out to the right. It just extends the track. This corner is really nothing. It's just a bend. You don't scrub any speed, so hold a tight line there. That is the fastest way through. And that's a 1012. I think that should be pretty competitive. So good luck out there. Hopefully we'll see you on the Saturday at 9:45 GMT. And again, I will post a few of the other popular times. Good luck. We'll see you next time. I'll run this out at full speed.